Hey friends, welcome back to another edition of the Midweek Update here on a Wednesday evening, coming at you from Okolona Christian Church. My name's Jonathan, and this evening we have a very special guest, one of our staff members here that works with us here in the office. This is Bailey Pavey. What's up, Bailey?
Hi.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And not that I don't love fits, but we just wanted to switch it up today and introduce you to someone that's more behind the scenes.
Yes.
But has a very prevalent role in, we call it kind of the front-facing aspect of our ministry, and that's our whole area of communications and social media. So what is your official title here on staff,
All right,
Bailey?
so my official title is Associate Director of Communications, specializing in social media.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dig it. Yeah. So, yeah, we have a whole communications team that you work with,
Yes.
which is Brooke and Fawn. Shout out to them. We may have to get them on here, but your specialization, your area that you lean into is the social media part. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but for the folks out there, some of y'all may know Bailey, or you may know her parents. I'll let her explain all that. But in case you have no idea, we're just going to get to know Bailey a little bit. Starting with Bailey, the fact that you grew up here.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
So my parents are Greg and Susan Arrett, so I'm part of that crew.
The Arrett crew.
The Arrett
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
So we started coming here when I was 2 years old, and I'm now 25. So that's like 23
Wow.
years. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've been here for quite some time.
Yeah. Yeah, so you were here actually in the old facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun.
Way back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So grew up here at OCC. Your mom is our preschool nursery and preschool director. Works with our children's ministry. Oversees that.
Yeah.
So by default, I guess you had to be involved
Yes.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, at the beginning, you're like, oh, wow, I can't wait to serve in that. And I started that when I was 12.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I've been doing this for a while.
Right.
But it's still awesome to, like, just see, like, the kids that were, you know, in that programming. And now they're in
Yeah.
high school and
Yep.
college. And you're just like, oh, gosh, wow,
Yeah.
y'all are growing up. So it's just really cool to see the impact that ministry is having and how it's growing so well right now, and all the new families that are coming in and meeting new kids. So it's
Yep.
big fun
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And in the same way, kind of for me, making me feel old.
Oh yeah, you're
But
welcome.
knowing that, you were 2 years old. In fact, you weren't even born yet when I started working here.
Yeah.
And now you're on staff at the age of 25. That's cool, though. That's neat.
very
We love to see folks kind of emerge out of our ministry here and become part of our team. And you're one of those. So very, very neat to see that. Got to participate, actually officiate, and counsel in preparation for your wedding.
Yeah.
Here recently. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so my husband is Zach, and we've been together for now like 3+ some months, 3 years plus some. But yeah, we were recently married, and Jonathan officiated the wedding, and it was awesome. So married life so far, super duper.
That's right. High expectations
Yeah.
for this marriage. Now, a great couple. It was an honor to be a part of that. Zach's a great guy. Fair to say that Zach's more the quiet side of the partnership. You're a little bit more that outgoing personality.
Very, very true.
Yeah. But just need to see you guys getting off on the right foot, and excited for you and what's ahead. Talk about passions, hobbies, what you guys do together, or what you enjoy, what gets your heart racing a little bit.
So the things that I enjoy doing, and it falls in line with, what I do for my job, is within the arts, drawing, painting, haven't done sculpting in a while, but that's super cool to do. But like baking, cooking, Zach and I like to cook together. And right now, you know, with it being close to the holiday kickoff season, you know, watching all those holiday baking shows is just fantastic. I love that.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's good to have those things. And and I think that part of what made you a good fit for this line of work you're doing. It requires a lot of creativity and seeing things, thinking about things that maybe not everybody else does. So let's jump into your career, which again is kind of an extension of your hobby and your passion, which again generally the aspect of creating. But when we say communications, when we talk about our communications department and the area of social media, what does that sort of all include? What does that mean here through our ministry at OCC?
So basically we're on the side of communicating whatever information or what's happening here, plus with our congregation and our community. So and I feel like, you know, social media is, of course, we have our congregation, but my focus is extending that as far as we can into our community and be that first touch for someone new. So
I like that. Social media specifically really is extending our front porch, if you will. Before the internet, before all those things, which to clarify, since as far as you can remember, has the internet been around? Do you remember life, or were you even alive before the internet?
Well, here's the thing, is that when you got my parents, it was a while before we got internet in our house. So I knew life without it. But it was probably around,
Right,
but I remember our home, we didn't have it for a while, and then we got it it was probably whenever we started like school stuff, and we had to have it.
So for Bailey, the internet was kind of like, for me and maybe some of you, a cable TV. You know, it was just this new revolutionary thing that gave you access to things you just never had before, that you couldn't just pick up through your antenna.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yes, I do. Okay. We had the antenna TV.
So your generation and younger are what I've heard referred to more as natives to the internet. It's kind of been around during your lifetime, where folks like me and some of our viewers that were more immigrants to that, is something we continue in some ways to adapt to. And it's so important that here in our ministry that we have folks like you representing your generation, helping us navigate and pioneer these new tools, these very effective and powerful tools, powerful for good, but also powerful for not so good.
Yes.
And that's kind of a battle out there, but we definitely want to redeem it and use it. So what got you interested just in this field?
Well, I mean, whenever it was my freshman year of college, starting out, we had one of our old staffers who basically did all the communications job. I was connected with her, and I started volunteering, helping her out in whatever way she wanted and needed. So, plus, you know, I had my own social media and all that stuff. But, like, for me, the gateway was really within graphic design, and how we would use that for promotional type things on our Facebook at that time and stuff like that. But since then, it's shifted for how I deal with it.
Kind of start as a personal thing, and then becomes you see how it can be used to help communicate and extend our ministry. So in case you're not familiar, obviously if you're with us tonight, you're on Facebook. Facebook would be a familiar and is kind of the leading, maybe most common social media platform. Beyond Facebook, where else are we interacting when it comes to social media as a church?
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we are on TikTok. If you didn't know that, we have a TikTok.
All right, and
Yeah.
you got to break these down for us.
Yes.
What's the difference, or what makes each of those platforms distinct?
Yeah.
Starting with Facebook.
Sure. So Facebook, mainly, I would say it's equal would be Twitter, if you're familiar with Twitter, where it's more text-based posts.
All right.
But from their beginning to now, it's shifted to fit the trends of the social world. So, you share your pictures there. It's more, I would say, interpersonal rather than big scheme, worldwide type thing.
And I would include with Facebook multi-generational.
Yes.
Because and she's probably on right now, my 80-year-old mom is a Facebook enthusiast.
Yes, we love her.
Yeah. So it maybe began as younger demographic, but is expanded now and may be perceived as sort of the
older app for sure.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So what about Instagram?
So Instagram is, their slogan starting out was "A picture's worth 1,000 words," and so it's mainly you share your world through whatever images you take
Photos.
and decide to share.
Yeah.
And they have transformed over time as well to include their short format videos and stuff like that, and that's kind of top dog right now, which leads into TikTok, and their whole thing is short format videos, so meaning videos that are 7 seconds long to 60 seconds. That's all you have, 60 seconds to come up with something very creative and put it out there into the world. And I would say for us, the audience we have is it's very, very broad. It's not within a 5-mile radius or people that we know. I only see a few names that come up on so-and-so liked your photo that I actually know. So it's a lot more of outsiders or whatever.
Right.
But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, so TikTok being that video format in short form, 7 seconds, which is a reflection on our attention span.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the equation here when we're considering how quickly we move on to things, and we're trying to get a message, get something communicated in a very short period of time, and that requires a lot of precision, a lot of thought in regards to how we message, how many words we use, if any, because like you said, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Now, TikTok is known, at least right now, from my perspective, primarily as these crazy dance videos.
Oh, yes, there are quite a few. Yeah, I would say that's their bread and butter.
So does that mean we have to start coming up with dance routines as a team here to communicate?
We might get there.
Yeah. We'll
it
see.
would make it a little bit more interesting.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. Well, and from personal experience, because every day, particularly on our Facebook page, you're engaging with people. The platform is building a bridge for someone to actually reach out to us through a request for information, prayer, etc. And you're kind of our first line of response. That's really where the essence of Bailey's responsibility at the pastoral level, if you will, is responding to these really just random things that come in. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's it's always interesting to see what types of questions come through, because the trending ones when's your service times, is the food pantry open today? But then you'll get these off the wall ones and you're like, that's interesting. And I've had moments where I'm like, hey Jonathan, I'm not sure how to say respond back
Help
to
me out
this.
with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a place where you can build relationships and genuine connection. And for me, I'm like, how can I be this person to answer whatever question they have, but reflect the gentleness and love of Christ? Because I'm like, if I'm like, blow them off. That's not a good that's not good representation of who Jesus is and the love. So that's my one, like, always. How can I say this in love? You know?
Yeah, if it's a tough question or even antagonistic, sometimes folks can kind of they're trying to maybe create more of a problem. That's just the nature of the platform and what we have to manage sometimes. But it's definitely worth it. And I know and have seen firsthand types of ways you've reached back out to minister to somebody, remind them of a scripture, or let them know that people are praying from them. You'll pass prayer requests along to our staff, and so that's where the real ministry happens, because I think that's a question we can ask ourselves sometimes, or wonder, does real ministry happen online? And the answer is yes, and it's because of folks like Bailey and those who choose to engage in the messiness and the challenges of that platform to use it for good. And so, man, just super grateful for that. What's next? This is an area that is constantly evolving, and one of the real challenges, but also, I would say, exciting aspects of the ministry is you really shouldn't get bored. Because there's always maybe something right around the corner, a next evolution of something. So talk about that.
Yeah. So at this moment in time, I'm not looking at hopping into any new things, like new apps, because I think the three that we have are like the good standard. Nothing's new that I know of. But then again, I could go back at my desk after this, and that could change. But for me, it's really fine tuning, our content and how can we better serve our community, and within the realm of like video, and really embracing the whole video aspect, and just getting that nice and crisp and good. We've got some other folks on our team that work in that area, and it's really part of the collaboration process of our entire team, using our resources to help become more precise with our messaging. Well, Bailey, it's been great. Thanks for hanging out and sharing just a little bit. If you have questions or are interested in getting involved in this area, reach out there in the chat room. Let us know. We're always looking for just fresh ideas, ways we can improve. So love to hear from you regarding that. Bailey, we will be here, of course, on campus this Sunday. We continue in our series, Unmasked. Great series. We'll be in week 3 coming up this Sunday. If you've missed the first 2 weeks, be sure and catch them online. Again, part of what our communications team does is make sure that all of our weekly content is streamed out there on demand through our website. So be sure and check that out. You can click the watch button or go up to the resource button, and you'll find all of that right there at your disposal. So have a great rest of the week, and as always, we'll see you here at 9:30 and 11 this coming Sunday. God bless. We love you. Bye.
Take care.